Hi, and welcome again to another edition of Market Analysis for today, September 4th, 2024. I'm Giovanni Betancourt. All right, so let's take a look at the this sell-off that we saw yesterday. We could say, here we go again. Just like 4 weeks ago, stocks were swooning at the start of the month. All right, so we see that here, here. So basically, the same scenario that we saw at the beginning of last month. All right, so we see that big candle, red candle, markets falling, finding a bottom where this white line is, and from here it rallied. So will we have the same fluctuation this month? Well, September is, historically wise, is a bad month for stocks. So we can come and speculate that since history repeats itself, right? Market discounts everything and markets move in trends. So those three tenets are the basis of technical analysis. And we can say that, let me just, right here. So it will be surprisingly enough for the market to come down and find some sort of support here today, or will the market just decide, okay, it's time for that support and rally to the upside? We'll see. We don't have a crystal ball to determine this. But as we see that the market fluctuates to the downside and embrace our level of support, we can come and say 18,000 could be that psychological level of support for the Nasdaq, which is very closely to that double bottom created also at the beginning of the month. So we could also come in and analyze or speculate that this move is being factored in for the non-farm payrolls number coming out on Friday. Also, that the Federal Reserve is going to start cutting rates. So the idea that is it going to start cutting rates? No, we know it. We most likely are. They most likely are, but they're going to stay lower for longer. So that right there, my friends, could be something that we want to be coming to speculate. Also, we are in a nomination or selection day, presidential. So that could also be another catalyst. So therefore, we are going to continue with the momentum to the downside. The level of support is here. If we do happen to break that level of support, we can come down and speculate some other levels, perhaps 18,300 around there. Okay. But for now, we're going to go with the trend or with the momentum, which is to the downside. The S&P 500 has already fluctuated below our level of support. So let's just lower that puppy some more. And I'm just going to look to the left, and this area here could probably be somewhere that of interest, 54.50 and change around here. Let's bring a level of resistance down. Okay, and we're just gonna happen to just use 56.75. So again, with the downside, we do have the crossing of the 20 over the 50 from below. That usually indicates a momentum to the upside, but not in this case, or will it? So that's another thing that we want to keep in mind. As far as the Dow goes, we are definitely way below that level of support. So let's use around here. Yeah, let's use this here. Okay. Bring down a level of resistance somewhere around here. So going with the momentum to the downside initially. The Russell has the 20-day moving average has rebounded over 50, but we are way below a level of support. So 21.20, and just bring it to 22.24. Selling it for now. Crude oil just tanked. It did rebounded off our level of support, but we have to obviously come here and Just move it a tid more to the downside, 69,150. And let's just use $72 as our resistance. So will it recover today? That's it to be seen. Nat Gas. Nat Gas is a nice momentum to the upside. So let's use the upper Bollinger Band as a level of resistance. And let's just use $2 as support. Buying it. Then we have gold that is looking to fluctuate a bit more to the downside. 2460 is going to be that level of support. And let's just use yesterday's high as our level of resistance, which is around 2500. Then we have silver. Silver is fluctuating below our level of support, so 2750. And let's use the medium point as our level of resistance, perhaps a recovery in that metal. Then we have copper. Let's just use this double bottom here as a level of support and the medium point as resistance. Bitcoin seems to be continuing to fluctuate to the downside, but it did recover somewhat. But I'm going to use this lower levels here and yesterday's high. Then we have here the euro currencies. The euro is looking to stay north of 110. So let's just use that as level of support and leave that 111 as resistance. Then the pound is going to be here. And then 132 continuing as resistance. And the dollar index, perhaps the dollar index will start losing ground today and fluctuate to the downside. Let's see what will happen. All right, that's it for today. Have a great trading day. See you tomorrow.